So what's going on here?
Just having dinner.
That's Dad's chair. He's gonna be mad.
Wow, Brian, you sure have been doing a lot of jogging lately.
It's called
Stepn! Good morning everyone. In today's video we're going to go over tips and tricks and the most useful information that you guys should know if you're about to start Stepn or just if you're playing Stepn in 2024. And this is just what I've compiled. So the very first one, and probably the most obvious one, is join the Discord. You get instant access to free codes. So if you're starting the game and you need a code to join the game, the Discord has a bunch of active users that actively and all the time share new codes. So if you're looking for new codes, that's the place to go. The other thing to do is you can join their social media on Twitter. And both of these reasons, so the first one, why you join the Discord, for the codes, but also on their Discord as well as their social medias like their Twitter or their Telegram, they post their announcements for such events as their special Easter egg hunt one, and just very good, useful, live up-to-date information, and you get a more detailed picture of what's going on there. So the second thing, which is the most annoying thing to me, is if you're on a Apple iOS device, you don't get access to the normal shop. You get access to Sparks. So all the currency automatically gets converted, and they typically charge a much higher price. And essentially what happens is you have to use their form of digital currency, which is just Apple payment, and it's called Sparks. But if you want to sell your things like your gemstones or your shoes and you don't know what price to list them at and you need the GMT price, just type m.stepn.com, and that basically shows you the marketplace on any iOS device. So you can use your Google or you can use a different computer just to see what the prices are. So we can see right now, okay, cool, the shoes are here. The cheapest ones are 184 GMT. But then also for things like your gems, if you want to get different quality gems, you can just use this website to buy them all as well. You don't have to use Sparks basically. So if you're like me and you're just using an iPhone, it's time to use this site basically. It sorts out all your problems. Step number 3 is, this is typically targeted towards newer players, but the main thing that I would definitely recommend is it costs a lot of resources to level up your shoes, and a lot of people are leaving the game. So what you should do is you should definitely filter your sneakers by level. So I think there's a lot of things about step 3. So the first one is learn about leveled shoes. So you kind of want to avoid, there'll be very cheap shoes at 19. So you see it's only 10 GMT more, which is going to save you loads of GMT, GST, and time for a level 19 shoe. But if you go all the way up to 28, it's a little bit more, maybe 30 more GMT, but that's even more worth it. And then more importantly, the higher your shoe level, the more you're gonna earn. So just to give you, using this as an example, I can't see the exact stats of it, but player hasn't logged in. I haven't logged in on this website, but basically a running shoe that is level 28. If we were to go here, we did a common running shoe. We said this is 28. And then let's just assume, even giving the shoe the base stats of 1, which is the worst, if we were to power this up as much as we could, and we get this to, I think we need this to be 20. So we get that to 20, and then we get this all the way up. You'd be earning 15 a day with 2 energy. So just the shoe earns you 15 a day. This is probably not the best way to do it, but the cheapest shoe here, also a running shoe, level 5, is if we go here, and we suddenly change this back. Oops. Let's go down to level 5, just to give you guys an idea. And let's just say that this base is 10, which is out of this world the best you can get. like you only like half the amount, and you're gonna be paying like 20% more. You go from 180 to like 220, so you pay 20% more GMT, but you're gonna be earning double the amount, and that's assuming that these stats are god tier. If these were like average and like let's just say the fives, it suddenly gets a lot worse, and we were using the worst stats available on the upgraded leveled ones. So bottom line is, when you're picking your shoes, if you're a beginner and you're buying your first ever pair of shoes, like, you kind of want to look for high leveled shoes. The sweet spot, like 30, if you see 30, it shoots up to the moon, because that's where you can earn comfort, and you're going to be paying a like nearly a 100% premium, so it's nearly double the amount. But just to go to 28, you're only going to be paying 20% more. Like if you go to 29, there's a big jump. But if you were, even if you wanted 21, it's really not that bad. But the difference between 25 and, as we said, it's a tiny amount of GMT. So I would consider that's pretty important. I guess the other thing that's pretty important is just, you must decide what your optimum speed is. So I use walkers because I can't jog for half an hour at that speed. Actually, I probably could, but I just had my walkers for the longest time, because at one stage I had 10 shoes and I was having to walk for like an hour and a half, and I didn't want to jog for an hour and a half, but I could easily walk an hour and a half. So you gotta so step number like 3.2 is essentially just know your limits, know what you want. Obviously trainers are the nicest because you can use any shoe, but if you look at trainers get very expensive. You're gonna have to be paying a like double the amount of cash premium for trainers, and that's just because trainers earn the most amount of like you can actually get the highest amount of GST, but more importantly, it doesn't matter your speed. As long as you're like active, your trainer will earn you some like cash. And then, as we said, you earn significantly less for a walker, to a jogger, to a runner. But don't buy a runner and then decide that you just can't maintain that run every day. So if you're very fit and you can run, the game's encouraging you and rewards you for running. If you can't, jogging's great. If you can't, I just walk, and there's no shame in that. Just enjoy it. Like, it gets you out every day, gets you away from your computer, away from crypto, and you just enjoy your walk. The next thing about buying your shoes is, if you're gonna buy additional shoes, so let's say you've got an uncommon as your main shoe or a rare, and then you decide to buy some commons or uncommons, and the sole purpose is just for extra energy or just to mint, I would highly recommend when you do that, you just look for shoes like this. So you make sure that their levels are above level 5, because that's what you need to mint shoes. And then the lower the mint, so like 0 mint shoes are called virgin shoes. Those are the best because it's the cheapest to mint another pair of shoes with them. And then obviously, as the game grows and develops, as there's when the demand for shoes goes up, then obviously that's when it could be profitable to mint. Or you just want to gamble and try and get twins, where you get 2 shoes, or you get a uncommon instead of a common. There's a few different minting strategies, but I'll make another video about that. But just a point of concern is just, if you're considering minting, then you do that. If you just need 1 shoe, definitely focus more on levels, and then just type. But I think that's kind of enough. Obviously, we can get more into the ideal efficiency and resistance that you need, but not the most important. Step number 4 is essentially learning how to repair your shoes. So ideally, you're going to be earning a special type of luck case, where you can then open it and find comfort gems in order to repair the HP of your shoes. There is a different type of thing called the HP system, as well as, so there's 2 different types. There's HP, and then there's also restoration. So durability is based on your sneaker's resistance. So the durability of your shoe, you typically pay like 1 GST to fix 1 durability. And then if that gets, like, let's say drops below 50%, so if it's 50 out of 100, your earnings get reduced by 5%, which is not too bad. But once it gets to like 20, you start earning negative 10%, which is like getting, once again, a little bit more bad. You don't really want to be like losing 10% for nothing. And then finally, there's also HP, which is when you have to use comfort gems and GST to essentially repair the HP of your shoes. So you can see here for your HP restoration at 100%. So if you're, as soon as you use your shoe, you're going to be using HP. And if your shoe's not at 100%, you can't sell your shoes, which is just, and you can't like transfer them. Once your HP is below 20%, whatever the shoe is, it doesn't count as providing energy. And then once this HP is 0, the sneaker can't be used at all. So I typically just always keep my HP at about 30%, and I always keep my durability well above 50%. Typically I just let it go from 100 down to about 70, 60, and then I just bump it all up and fix it and restore it again. And yeah, that's just kind of it. I guess tip number 6, that's the most important, is you guys should definitely read the white paper. It covers a lot of the different aspects of the game in more detail, as well as the fact that some of the game like mechanics has changed in the last 2 years since this game's been out. We've had things like the prices of shoe minting changed, and we had the introduction of GMT, and now rainbow shoes, and then obviously we had the different bridges and the different, like, your shoes can be on different blockchains. So the games keeps developing and changing, so just read the white paper. They update it quite regularly. Something just to end on a nice note, let's just call it step number 7, and that's just like, have fun, guys. Like, remember, like, think about how crazy this is. You're walking digital shoes, earning money. So like, just have a laugh and just imagine what your like great grandpa would say. Just be like, what the fuck? You're walking around and you're earning 2% of your ROI on digital shoes. Like, it's actually wild. Enjoy. Hope these tricks and tips help. If you have any comments, ask down below. I think what I'll do is I will make my next video based on your guys' questions, because they are starting to pile up, and I will help however I can. Catch you guys in the next one. Bye.